Hi everyone, it's Coffee Stitcher. It is kind of late on Sunday. We had a slightly crazy weekend. How are y'all? Awesome. We had we had his family in town, and it ended up involving us more than we thought it would. So it was a good weekend, nothing bad. It was just a much busier weekend than we thought. So yeah. So how was everyone's week? Awesome. Awesome. That is really good to hear. I had a fairly different week. I did a whole lot of not much on a lot of projects. So I have some updates. I've also got the plans for September. I've got the last of the Oz coloring books. If for any reason somebody wants me, if y'all want me to, I'll leave this up to y'all. If y'all want more Oz coloring books, because I do have enough to do another month, I will happily do that. Otherwise, I will come up with something new for next week, or for next month. So just sort of drop me a comment. Alright, I don't have any haul this week, which is a good thing. So we've got some Q&A. Like I said, I've got a lot of WIP updates, and the plans for September. So we'll go through the Q&A. Lauren Laney asks if Remy is named for the poet Rummy. No, actually, when we got him, the rescue agency had just been calling him Remy, and we just sort of stuck with that. And it's Remy like Jeremy. Like if you took the J-E off, that's what you would have left is Remy. Cat B asks if I will, ever bring back My Little Mermaid from Thomas Kinkade. Probably not. I just don't enjoy full coverage pieces well enough for that. So probably not. She asks if I'm still accepting friend requests on Facebook. Generally, no. The best way for me to actually do that is if you send me a message on Facebook and we chat for a while and I get comfortable with you, then I'm more likely to add you. But otherwise, probably not. So, yeah. Let's see. Just Jenny asks if I could do a tutorial on French knots. Actually, better than that. Where I learned it from was from Sublime Stitches. I think that's what it is. If you Google how to do French knots, it's literally the first hit. And it says, it's Sublime Stitching, how to French knot, the best instructions ever. And they seriously are. Like, this is how I learned to do it. I strongly recommend them. Her has Stitcher, exclamation point, asks why don't I stash and load on my own Etsy store? Because it costs me more to do it on Etsy than it does through Stash Unload. That's the main reason. Angelique R. asks, wouldn't part 2 be Merman? Or is that gender limiting Mermerson? Yeah, I guess Merman is technically the correct, but when I say Merman, I always, like mermaid, merman, I think Ethel Merman, and that's a whole different visual that I don't really want in my head when I'm talking about mermen. So, male mermaid is probably what I'll go with for that reason. So there really wasn't a lot of Q&A this week. I really do enjoy doing the Q&As, so don't be afraid to throw me out questions. Even if it's one I've answered before, I'll happily answer it again. Alright, so I guess we'll go into the actual WIP updates themselves. So I started out, my original plan was I ended up looking back at the color that I had chosen for the banner on my giant Harry Potter, and I actually ended up going, you know what, I can actually see this better than I thought I could. So I went to work on those, and oh my god, those banners are deceptively hard. So this is as far as I got. I got the R in Ravenclaw, and I got the top parts, the ravens here, or the eagles there, or whatever the thing is supposed to be. I think it's a raven in the books. I'm kind of drawing a little bit of a blank. So my goal for next month is going to be to finish the actual banner itself. We'll see how successful I am. At work, I was working on the border for Things Unseen, and I got almost all of what I needed to done, but I forgot my scissors at work, so I couldn't keep working the way I had been, so I actually started working on this part. So I've done a little bit of it. I did this, and I got all of the green, and I got all of the Spanish moss to there. So I will be finishing up that. So I worked on that at lunch. Then I started work on, a little bit like I did last year with Magical Creatures, I decided that before the new year starts, I want to get the middle section of Pumpkin Passport done, so that I just have to do the top border and the bottom border. So this is Let's Go on an Adventure, and I got the N and Anne done. I was really tired this week. This was kind of a slow week at work, so instead of being energized when I got off work, I was just tired. So I really didn't get a lot accomplished. So I did that. And then, as everybody knows, the new Frosted Pumpkin Stitch-Along started. How adorable is Trick or Treat? I mean, oh my gosh. So I started in on my national parks, and I got This Land Was Made and the start of The Grey Under It, because shortly thereafter, the Pedal Pusher Oz Stitch-Along started. So, and that's the one I'm currently working on, and it's The Castle of the Wicked Witch of the West. So here's where I'm at. I'm almost done with the curtain. I've got some of the bricks done. I'm going at it essentially one color at a time. I did use some metallic floss for the red sand and the hourglass, and then I'm going to use beads on the outside of the hourglass. That's going to be the beaded part of this one. So, and then I'm going to use, for my variegated part, I'm going to use grits from Weeks Dye Works for the crystal ball. So, or at least that's the current plan. We'll see what happens. So, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm figuring what I'll probably do is I want to figure out a way to incorporate the individual Glinda in with the rest of the design. Not actually into the Stitch-Along, but somewhere. So I will probably frame her individually in a hoop. That was kind of what Trisha was talking about doing, and I loved that idea. But beyond that, I haven't figured out how. Or I may just have her be completely separate. So that's what I worked on this week. So now we get to go into the September goals. Now, I lamented earlier this month that I had made my goals too easy. I also brought up 2 from my whips to replace, and I think instead, because I didn't really work on those because I didn't really feel motivated, particularly on Get Kraken. So what I decided to do was I was going to just take those 2 out of the rotation, and instead I'm going to give myself some harder goals. Pardon my hiccup. So I will do harder goals that will hopefully take me a little bit through the month. So the first thing is going to be the Oz Stitch-Along will be finished. It'll be finished towards the end of the month. That, depending on how does the month of September actually look? I've got a calendar, but I can't see the September part from there, so we're going to pull it up over here. Oh yeah, because the last part's going to come out on September 23rd, I believe. So that it will most likely be finished this month, or in September. And that includes Glinda. So that's planned. Obviously, I will do The Flying Monkey from Brooks Books. Magical Creatures will be the September block. It's the last of the really small blocks in this piece. Here's the whole piece. It is... Nope. It's that block there. So I will finish up September. But I don't anticipate it's going to take all that long. The monkey I don't think will take very long either. He doesn't look like he's too involved. But this one will definitely be finished the end of this year. Which is going to be pretty exciting. So that's planned. Alright, so then Blue Jeans and Daisies. My goal on it is going to be to finish... Oh, hello, puppy bears. We may have a puppy bear visit. We'll see. Oops, back up one. Okay, no, we're not going to have a puppy bear visit. Blue Jeans and Daisies, here's where I'm at. Ta-da! So I'm going to finish in, obviously, the one that's there. And then my goal is going to be to start the middle section. So there's some grass that goes along the bottom, and there's some trees that go up the top that are pretty much just long, straight rows. So my goal is going to be to get those done, and then when I'm on vacation, hopefully finish. That way I can get this framed. So it's coming to an end. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to be sad to see it go. Alright, so then the Leslie Tier Wizard of Oz, which I started work on. This one's one that I either really get in a groove and I'm just like, go on, or I pick it up and I'm just like, eh. So this one's one I sort of wax and wane on. It's one of the ones I'm okay if I don't finish the goal. But my goal is going to be to get Dorothy started. And I've got some of her hair here. So I'm going to try and get her started. But we'll see. This is one of those. There's a couple of them that I'm pretty willing to let be missed if need be. Alright, in Hocus Pocus, I've got... I don't remember if I had shown y'all this last week or not. So some of this y'all may be seeing that I worked on, because I don't remember when I worked on it. I got the second Itch de Copita, and the second Melica Mystica. So, pattern-wise, I've got Give Him Fur, Black is Black, just like this. And my goal is to do... I'm trying to find the first page that shows it. That way I'm not just showing you the pattern. There we go. So, my goal is going to be the last bit of this. So, I think I can probably achieve that pretty easily. Sorry, face stitches. And then my goal from... So, this one may get finished this year. We'll see. I'm not rushing to get it done this year, but if it gets done this year, it gets done this year. So, that's done. Alright, Things Unseen. My goal is just finish Section 2 and then the last little bit of Section 1 that was Part 1 that wasn't done. So, And that really, I don't think will take too long, because I've got the bird, I've got a butterfly over here, I've got a plant and a house and some sheep. So I feel fairly confident that I can achieve that. And I'm still really loving working on this. So, and then I'm basically taking 2 months to do each part. Oh, sorry, my nose itches really bad. And then there's Cereal Bowl, which is getting close. I just have the ABC and the tree above the ABC above the girl and the tree and the bird to go. So my goal is definitely to do the ABC and to try and get the tree and the bird done as well. But definitely the ABC. Definitely, I think the tree can be accomplished. So there's that. Pumpkin Passport, I already said what I was going to work on. National Park, what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely try and have the middle piece of Clue 1 done before Clue 2 comes out. So, and I'm about halfway there already, so that should be easily done. Then when Clue 2 comes out, I'll do Clue 1 and the top part of, I'll do Clue 2 and the top part of Clue 1. There's about 40 spaces, and I'm just not comfortable trying to count that much up. I'm just a little too afraid that I will get off count and have myself really boogered up. So, that will be what happens then. Okay. Then on story time, my goal is to do 2 more frames, and I'm either going to do November and December, or May and June. I'm saving Wizard of Oz for last, so most likely what I'll do is I'll do that way, and I'll work my way around. And then obviously the banner is going to be the last part. So probably be November and December, which was Christmas Carol and Little Women. Which Little Women may get a tweak or two. I think they have Joe in pink, and that just doesn't seem like the right color for Joe to me. Granted, I'm really only familiar with the film version from the 40s, the one with, I think it's Juna Allison is Joe. It's definitely Margaret O'Toole as Beth, and Liz Taylor is Amy. And I forget who plays Meg. And it's got Mary Astor as Marmee. Is it Lucille Brimmer? No, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, it's, I don't know, just pink seems wrong to me. So, we'll see. I may change that, I may not, but I may change that. So, those are the monthly goals for next month. So, I think they're all pretty attainable. If I don't finish them, well, that's okay. I'll just roll them over into the next month. The ones I know for sure that'll be done are going to be the Oz Stitch Along, My Flying Monkey, Magical Creatures, and National Park. But beyond that, if I get to them and I get them finished, fabulous. If I don't, fabulous too, because eventually I will finish them. But with the goals, I find it less stressful. I find it much, much easier to achieve things, because then it gives me an end spot. Whereas when I was just doing a week, it would be like, well, this is a good stopping spot, but I still have a couple of days left. So this sort of gives me that structure that I need. I just realized I left the coloring book over here. Alright, and in terms of next year planning, I haven't really gotten very far. I'm still figuring out what I'm gonna do. So, alright, so finally, the Oz coloring book of the week. This one's from the 50th anniversary, and I actually had a couple of these when I was a kid. It was put out by Golden Books and part of the big marketing blitz. And it's your fairly standard late 80s, early 90s color activity book. You know, it tells the story as you go. It's got the coloring pages. I always thought it was particularly interesting that you actually have Dorothy's underskirts showing. Like, that was something they included. But I thought overall they did a really fantastic job. There's good old Wicked Witch of the West with very little to actually color. Of capturing the movie characters. There was also one for The Little Mermaid that I absolutely loved because it had a cutout Ursula shell necklace. And I used to pretend to be Ursula. So, yeah. So, there was this one. So, this was the last one I actually had at an age where I was actively coloring. There are others that were available that I had but I never colored in. All the way up to the modern day. So, if y'all want to see more Oz coloring books, let me know. If not, then I don't know what I'll come up with. But I'll come up with something. So, I know it was kind of a shorter video than normal, but there we go. I hope everyone has an absolutely fabulous week. Everyone who's back in school, good luck in school. Everyone who teaches, good luck with teaching. And stay-at-home moms whose kids have gone back to school, I bet you're enjoying the quiet. At least I hope you're getting to. Same for stay-at-home dads, but I don't think there are any stay-at-home dads that watch FlosStube. I could be wrong, though, but I don't think there are. So, anyhow, y'all have a great week, and I will see y'all next week.